all of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
Just when people thought Katt Williams had finished rattling the industry after Diddy went down, he circled back with something even sharper, and this time, the spotlight wasn't on Diddy himself, but locked directly onto Christian Combs. The way Katt laid it out had people leaning forward because the whispers suggest Christian may have been closer to Diddy's storm than anyone realized, standing right in the eye of the chaos, and if even half of what's being hinted at holds weight, this isn't just about protecting a legacy anymore. And if you've scrolled online recently, you've already seen the clip that lit the fuse. Total takes the stage, nostalgia thick in the air, bad boy legacy in the building, then Christian walks out trying to carry that iconic name forward. He grabs the mic and calls out, "When I say bad, y'all say boy." And what answers him isn't noise, it's silence. Not confusion, not mic trouble, but that heavy, awkward, we're not rocking with this kind of silence. He tries it again, pushing for energy, and still nothing but crickets hanging in the air.
On this next song right here, I need your help. Y'all ready? Boy. Yeah, look. Hey, yo, when I say bad, y'all say boy. Bad, bad. When I say bad, y'all say boy. Bad, bad. Y'all give it up for our nephew.
And the streets caught that immediately, because this wasn't just a random open mic night. This was a bad boy adjacent show.
In a room where that chant used to rattle walls, where you couldn't even whisper bad without somebody firing back boy before you finished the word, the quiet felt deafening. Online, people said that single moment told the whole story without saying one thing out loud, that Diddy's empire might be gasping for air. One user didn't sugarcoat it. That entire Diddy legacy is tainted. Another warned promoters straight up, total keep, having him come out, they ain't gonna have no shows. And someone else summed up the mood with brutal finality. Bad boy is dead, the awakening is here, and there's no going back now. All ugliness will be revealed. But the energy shifted even deeper when one of the loudest voices reacting to all of it turned out to be Katt Williams, a man who's been waving red flags for years, claiming the industry was built on smoke and mirrors, insisting certain power players weren't who they pretended to be, and promising that eventually the fall would come.
To be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room and shit.
Back then, people brushed him off, laughed it away as another wild rant wrapped in punchlines, but now every fresh headline has folks rewinding those old interviews and wondering if Katt was seeing around corners the rest of us couldn't. Because according to Katt, Christian Combs wasn't some sheltered kid playing the background. He was present in the rooms, absorbing the energy, witnessing the moves, standing close enough to feel the heat of everything swirling around Diddy.
Because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times, just to protect my integrity and that virgin I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling.
That's when the internet did what it always does. It started digging, resurrecting clips that once slid under the radar. One in particular keeps resurfacing, an IG Live where Diddy is laughing with his sons and suddenly introduces a young individual, Ava Baroni Combs, almost out of nowhere. At the time, most people just kept scrolling, but watching it back now in slow motion, viewers say her energy feels rigid, the smile not quite reaching her eyes, the introduction sounding rehearsed, and every time she begins to speak a little too freely, Diddy jumps in quick, steering the wheel right back under control.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs. Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents that
but you're my child also, but please.
Then, just as suddenly as she appeared, she disappeared from the spotlight. No updates, no appearances, no public narrative, just silence. And people began noticing that the only consistent faces around her seemed to be Christian and Justin Combs. Fast forward to when lawsuits started piling up and conversations about alleged SSA and an extreme party culture began surfacing. Justin's name started drifting into discussions, then Christian's followed close behind. Nothing proven in court, but the smoke was thick enough to sting, and things turned even more uncomfortable when that leaked jail call surfaced, the one where Diddy allegedly tells Christian Combs to get rid of the leftover pizza boxes and recycle the plastic.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
The what?
All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes.
Okay.
Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Now, anyone with street instinct knows that doesn't sound like dinner cleanup, not when federal agents are circling, not when properties have just been searched and headlines are exploding. Pizza boxes and plastic were decoded by the internet almost instantly. Containers, storage drives, tapes, shipments, things you don't want sitting around once investigators start knocking. Then came the chatter about cargo docks and freight containers positioned suspiciously close to properties reportedly linked to Diddy. People started pointing at layouts, zooming in on footage, noting a bridge in frame, and two massive estates off to the side said to belong to him, then clocking just how close a shipping terminal appeared to be, practically within arm's reach. Stack after stack of containers sparked speculation about whether those so-called leftover pizza boxes meant something far bigger. On top of that, claims surfaced that workers allegedly heard people not of age crying out, and instead of authorities stepping in, there were reports of staff refusing to continue working, which only poured gasoline on an already raging fire of suspicion.
I don't think the workers in the pork strike were wanting more money because of the work that they were doing. I think they wanted more hush money to keep them quiet about what they were bringing into the ports. Diddy's house is on Star Island, which is right next to the Miami port. They saw some things, and they were not okay with it.
And the situation just keeps getting worse and worse. One of the dock workers that is on the port strike has come out and stated that they're not only striking because of being overworked and underpaid, but because they're sick and tired of hearing coming in the port screaming on cargo containers.
The situation spiraled into territory too sensitive to fully unpack here. Y'all can look it up. But the timing alone had people on edge, because if that call was authentic, and if those coded words meant what many believed they meant, and if Christian wasn't just watching from the sidelines but possibly assisting with cleanup, then everything shifts. That silence at the total show stops feeling like simple rejection of Diddy's name and starts feeling like rejection of the entire orbit around him. And hovering over all of this is 50 Cent, who's been publicly clowning Diddy for years, long before raids or charges, repeatedly saying he never aligned with that energy, and even releasing a docu-series to make it clear he never supported the alleged wild behavior.
Come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
One moment in that documentary hit viewers in a way that lingered. Footage shows Diddy greeting fans, smiling, hugging, playing the role of man of the people, but the second he steps away from the crowd, his demeanor flips cold. He says he felt dirty, like he needed a shower, as if the touch of regular supporters clung to him in a way he couldn't stand, and that contrast didn't sit right with a lot of people watching.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in his
car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirty. It should show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah. What's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
The streets caught that instantly. So you're telling supporters you needed a bath after hugging them, yet allegedly never felt that way after those private island gatherings. One user didn't hold back. Says the nerve of him to say he was so disgusted by people's germs all while doing all that nasty things he was doing. That clip alone carved deep into public perception, and instead of stepping back, Christian fired off a diss toward 50 that barely caused a blink. Then in December 2025, he jumped online talking bold, claiming he'd slapped 50 in real life, and 50's reply was vintage, laughter and a sharp post that read, "Lil bro, first close your damn mouth. When you take pictures, been rich 3 different times, sold records, sold shows, sold liquor, sold power, you still living off Wi-Fi and legacy, relax." Beneath the joke was a harsh truth. Christian's career is tethered to a surname, and right now that surname doesn't echo the way it once did. So when the crowd fell silent at that Total show, maybe it wasn't only about Diddy, maybe it was about Christian too, about coded calls, island trips, and an atmosphere the streets don't vibe with anymore. And when you zoom out, the bigger question looms. If this is the energy surrounding Diddy's son while Diddy remains behind bars, what happens when Diddy himself steps back into the spotlight? If Christian couldn't spark a chant in a friendly room, what kind of welcome waits for a full comeback tour? Will people separate art from allegations, or has the entire bad boy era reached its final chapter? And deeper still, was Christian just a privileged bystander or closer to the fire than anyone wants to admit? If you rock with unfiltered breakdowns and deep dives into what's really happening behind the scenes, subscribe right now to Black Celeb. We don't chase clout, we chase context, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.